Where's your home? Where do you live?
Oh, you can find me all over the place, actually. So if you look in any sort of shrubbery, on the bushes, on the ground, under stones, I'll be around there somewhere.
So you're not aiming to live in our houses?
No, why would I want to live there? I want to live somewhere where there's some nice vegetation that I can eat, like some nice, lovely, fresh flower buds, or some carrion to prey on.
Can you fly?
Well, you're talking to a common earwig, and we do have a pair of wings. They are beautifully tucked away. I'm very proud of the way that I fold them right, very neatly underneath my little wing cases, but I never fly. Some people think we can, but I've never managed to do it, or never been inclined to do it. So you can drop me from a height and I'll just land on my feet. But they may be the reason why you call me an earwig.
Okay, tell me more.
Because if I do unfurl my wings, spread them right out, they're quite large actually, and they are sort of ear-shaped. So everybody knows that an earwig is called an earwig because I could crawl into your ear, but it's very, very rare that we want to do that sort of thing. We do crawl into little dark spaces, but usually they're places where we know they're going to be nice and places you can eat or you can rear a family. And most people's ears aren't that.
Yes, have you ever come across an ear yourself? Have you ever approached a human ear?
No, I haven't, actually. I mean, I have seen them. You know, people do go around lying down amongst the long grass and the bushes. So potentially it could happen. But you'd probably have to be asleep. And I'd have to be asleep probably myself as well to make a mistake and walk into your ear. But also the name earwig, the wig bit, is nothing to do with your hair at all. That's an old English name for insect or beetle. So it means ear beetle or ear insect is what it really means.
And what do you need your pincers for?
The pincers on my tail. Well, I'm a male earwig, so I have some nice big rounded pincers, whereas the females tend to have little more straight looking pincers. And for me, myself, mainly I use them to scare you off. And when something like a mammal or a bird comes along and tries to peck at me, then I rear them over the back of myself and threaten to pinch you with them. So it's very hard for me to actually do any damage to you, but that's what they're there for, really, to actually scare animals off that might want to eat me.
Are you related to the scorpion?
Not at all. But my cousin I was talking about earlier, the lesser earwig. Now the lesser earwig, you know, I'm usually about 12 millimetres long. Lesser earwig about half that. Lesser earwigs live usually in compost heaps, so you don't tend to see them. But they fly at night a lot, and they use their pincers to actually unhook the wing cases before they unfurl their wings from underneath.
That's incredibly cool. Do you wish you were one of them?
Sometimes, yes.
Do you have a family?
Well, yes. Yes. The female earwig, once I've mated with her and she's laying eggs, she goes and finds a nice place under a stone or just under the surface of the soil to make a little nest, and she will lay the eggs there, so probably about 30 eggs or something. I can happily swan off and leave her to it at that point, and she then spends the winter hunched over these eggs, keeping them, protecting them from other animals eating them, other invertebrates eating them, and she also licks them to keep fungi off, so they don't start to rot. And then when they hatch out in the spring, as tiny little baby earwigs, for the first week or so, she'll stand over them and protect them, and then she'll go off and die eventually.
So she wins Mother of the Year award?
Yes, there aren't many of us insects that have parental protection like that, just one or two, but she's one of them.
Do you worry about your future?
There's a lot of us around, common earwigs. We've always been common, and we continue to be common, and that's probably because we're so adaptable and we can eat on all sorts of different things. But who knows in this day and age when climate is changing and populations of other insects are declining rapidly.
Do we want to hold on to you? Do we want earwigs in our world?
Many people don't like us, but as with everything, we have a role to play. So we do eat carrion, we do eat insects, small invertebrates that could be pestiferous species for you gardeners. So there are positive sides to us. And everybody likes birds. Birds do come and eat us, so they need to have some food. So you've got to have a bit of the bad with the good. So yeah, I would hold on to us if you don't mind.
And is there another insect that you admire?
I don't know about admire, but I guess there are times probably when I'd look at other insects that are flying about and thinking, why have I got these wings if I don't bother to use them?
Is there anything else about you that's unusual or that we might not know that you could tell us?
So you can tell what sex we are by the shape of our pincers. So as a male, my pincers at the end of my abdomen are almost semicircular, whereas females are much more straight. So we can give more of a nip than the ladies can.
If you had a message for us, what would it be?
Don't worry, we're not going to crawl inside your ears. I know that that's sort of folklore in this country, also in France and Germany as well. The French names for us also echo that. So clearly there's a lot of concern that we're going to do this. But we're not going to eat your earwax. We're not going to bore into your brain and eat your brains out. Why would we bother to do that when we've got lovely fresh rose leaves or petals to eat on? That's what we much prefer. So don't worry.